expressway as other road users continue to use only one section of the road, while the Army and the Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, are yet to speak on this. Moving on, teachers of the Rivers State University Demonstration School have again called on the state government to reinstate and pay off their 7 years salary arrears. Recall that former Governor Nyesom Wike in February 2016 ordered that the salaries of the teachers be removed from the payroll of the university. Well, one of the teachers, in an interview with correspondent Emeko Tuka, said they lost 3 of their staff recently due to hardship and that life has not been easy with the rest of them. He said some of them have been evicted from their homes and their children out of schools.
All we are trying to do is just to appeal to His Excellency, the Governor of Rivers State, to please look at these issues. We have lost lives. Teachers, as I speak with you, we just lost 3 persons. We are going through terrible pain. Lost accommodation. You can't pay accommodation. You can't pay hospital bill. You can't even take care of our children. Our children are out of school, and we are just employed like every other staff of the university. This is 8 years counting. We can't even attend to family needs and responsibilities as head of a home.
The teacher have appealed to Governor Siminalayi Fubara to use his first 100 days in office to put a smile on the faces of the affected teachers.
We have so much faith, and we believe that the government of today, maybe before his 100 days in office, will remember us. He is a civil servant, and we believe that he has our pains at heart. And we are looking up to the day that he will make that announcement to say that he has reversed these teachers back to their job, and also looking to our arrears. We are so much indebted, and when I say we are going through pain, it is an understatement. We are going through agony, serious troubles and worries, sometimes sleepless nights.
The chairman of civil society organizations in Rivers State, NFI George Will, also spoke.
This is no longer news. As we get updates of their deaths, ill health, inability to pay medical bills, and house rent on a daily or weekly basis. We have lost count of those whose children have dropped out of school, or those who practically beg to feed their family. We therefore use this medium to plead with the Rivers State government to invite these dying teachers, pay them instrumentally, and disengage them if the government no longer needs their services.
Away from that, traders at the popular weekly oil mill market in Obiakpo local government area have accused the Rumokorosi Town Council of multiple ticketing. The traders told our correspondents that the price of the tickets are extremely high, considering the economic situation in the country. They called on the government and other relevant authorities to look into the matter.
The community of Rumokorosi Oyeme market, we are begging them to reduce this ticket for us. We are suffering too much about this ticket.
Many of us that sell market here, we carry goods on credit. After selling, we cannot even be able to balance, and we are paying 9,000 naira.
We will be paying 9,000 naira every Wednesday, whether you sell or not. If you don't pay, they will carry your goods and fight you. We want government to intervene on our behalf. We are suffering in their hands.
How much are we making? You see us shouting 500, some 200, some 100 now. I sell newborns. The ticket is too much. They should do something about it.
The intimidation is getting much. Many a times, after spending all this money, you go home empty-handed. The country is too hard now. I am crying on behalf of the whole traders for help.
The government of Rivers State will help us. Let the ticket be reduced.
When our correspondents visited the weekly market, traders showed that they were being asked to pay between 500 naira and 1,000 naira on about 16 different tickets. The total cost of the tickets amount to 9,000 naira. But recall that the chairman of the market, Osi Nwosu, while accusing the traders of tarnishing the image of the community, refuted the claims of multiple ticketing. In another development, following the return of the officials of the Rivers State Task Force on street trading and illegal motor parks, some traders along major roads and popular junctions are urging the state government to monitor the activities of some illegal task force members. Now, they accuse the officials of illegal collection of funds from traders operating within the Rumokoro market.
It's not the right thing for me to sell market on the road side like this. So me, I go just early this morning, then waka commodity, they come back here.
Now once they come sha, but the ones where they come now from government house, they from come. Now they know they too scatter people things.
Then they come to collect money, more things person they say they come, this one come to collect 200, collect 200. How much money will carry and go house?
This pay where people they pay for. Yeah, if you never sell your market finish, you go one sell and finish. But when you pay finish before then they will come now. Then when collect money go start to come pursue you again. Now be the way problem there. If you don't know what make people they say, make they cook move the people, make they know they say. When you can't collect money finish, before you know it, you pursue them.
Our correspondents visited key junctions and the popular Rumokoro market and observed a heightened level of scrutiny by some task force officials towards street traders. We'll recall that the Rivers State's Task Force on Street Trading and Illegal Motor Parks resumed operations in May after an altercation between a member of the task force and a taxi driver at Rumokoro. Moving on, a stakeholder in the oil and gas sector in Rivers State, Joseph Obele, says the statement by the presidency that the pump price of petrol will not increase is not obtainable in a deregulated oil and gas sector. Dr. Obele told newsmen that comments by the spokesperson of the presidency indicates that the federal government may have allegedly started restoring the fuel subsidy regime behind the scenes.
Prices in any deregulated economy are not benchmarked or controlled, rather, they are moderated by market forces. Petroleum importers have announced last week that landing cost of PMS has increased above 700 naira because of high rate of foreign exchange. That statement from presidency can only be possible if the federal government will secretly reintroduce fuel subsidy payment for the additional cost as lamented by the importers.
But Dr. Obele also said there is a supply gap of petrol following the challenges marketers are facing with the exchange rates.
But single digits should not be more than 5%. The government's interest is not actually in making the MSME.
We are currently experiencing a supply gap. There is shortage of supply as we speak. Majority of the importers and depots have announced price increment yesterday. As long as we keep importing from the international market, then prices will reflect as such because of external elements. External elements are uncontrollable. Since no one can control such external variables, then no one has the capacity to lie to Nigerians that prices won't be increased.
Apologies for the initial mix-up with the audio. Meanwhile, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, has secured a 3 billion emergency crude repayment loan from African Export-Imports Bank, Afrexim Bank, to stabilize the naira. In a short statement disclosing the deal, the NNPCL said the commitment letter, which was signed at Afrexim Bank's headquarters in Cairo, Egypt today, will enable it to support the federal government in its ongoing fiscal and monetary policy reforms aimed at stabilizing the exchange rate market. Still to come, APC National Chairman Abdullahi Ganduje says former Governor Wike ready to cooperate with APC. Stay tuned. Abdullahi Ganduje says discussions are on to get some opposition political parties to collapse into the APC. Mr. Ganduje said this today while giving an insight into the visit of Minister-designate and former Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike to his residence on Tuesday. He said former Governor Wike is ready to cooperate with the ruling party without necessarily joining the party. A former First Lady of Nigeria, Patience Jonathan, has pledged to support the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, to move the country forward and is calling on other women to follow suit. Mrs. Jonathan gave the assurance today during a solidarity visit to the First Lady at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. A special panel of the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has affirmed the decision of the Ogun State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal, which struck out allegations of vote buying and voter inducement brought against Governor Dakpo Abiodun and APC by the PDP in the state. The court, in its lead judgment, read by Justice M.B. Idris, also upheld another decision of the tribunal, which confirmed the validity of the defense filed by Governor Dakpo Abiodun. In business, some gas vendors in Port Harcourt are calling for an increase in gas depots to reduce the cost of cooking gas. They made the call following the increasing price of cooking gas. Now, some of them who spoke to correspondent Suibu Ruwari also attributes the high cost of cooking gas to the exchange rate of dollars and cost of transportation.
a spike increase in depot price. There will also be an increase in sales from retail station. For example, Port Harcourt as a whole, or maybe 3 to 4 gas. I think if we have more than 3 to 4, they're disseminating gas to other stations. It will be more easier in terms of pricing. At times we do get from Lagos. Then when you add your haulage costs, you add your logistic costs, you add the price costs. Before it gets to 700, it was 650. From 650, it was 680. From 680, it's 700.
Our correspondent reports that 1 kg of cooking gas now sells between 700 naira and 720 naira, while 12.5 kg costs between 8,600 naira and 9,000 naira. Some customers spoke to our correspondent.
Told us that the gas have increased. That's why they added 8 naira. The former price for the acceptance. Yeah, like 3 kg now is 2,160. Then 4 kg is 2,880. Before it was 2,040 naira. Then addition of 40 naira was made. That is 2,160. Then personally, the management for the gas, the manager for the gas didn't explain much about the increasement, but he just told us that the gas, because the price in depot increased. That's why they increased. Yeah, that's why.
Last time I bought gas, that was months ago. So when I came today, the price has increased. So it's quite surprising.
In entertainment, popular rapper CDQ is reportedly battling for his life in a Lagos hospital. Reports says the rapper was involved in a motor accident. In sports, England reached the Women's World Cup final for the first time as they spoiled co-hosts Australia's party on a historic evening in Sydney.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
The Defense Ministry in Niger says at least 17 soldiers have been killed in an Islamist militant attack. Another 20 were said to be wounded. The ambush happened in the Tillaberi region, close to the border with Burkina Faso. The military says more than 100 attackers were killed as they escaped the scene. And that's the news. But before we go, another look at the highlights of the major stories. On the news this evening, you heard that Oyibo residents and motorists are calling for the removal of a military barricade on Oyibo-Aba Expressway. Demonstration school teachers have renewed their call for the reinstatement and payment of their salary arrears. Oil mill market traders have accused the Rumokorosi Town Council of multiple ticketing. The APC National Chairman, Abdullahi Ganduje, says former Governor Nyesom Wike is ready to cooperate with the APC. An analyst, Joseph Obele, has dismissed the federal government's assurance of no further increase in petroleum products. And on the foreign scene, soldiers were killed in a jihadist ambush in Niger. The news was edited by Martha Okerenkem. Rain is expected in Port Harcourt this evening. To contact the news team, send an SMS, call or WhatsApp 0808 721 7215. Peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. My name is Constance Mega. Thank you so much for listening. Good evening.